850-299-1269. Amplify AI.
That bear ain't just for show.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
When it comes to backyard dreams, trust the name that's been making waves for over 65 years. Cox Pools. Serving the entire Florida Panhandle, Cox Pools brings experience, innovation, and quality to every custom pool design. From luxurious spas to resort-style pools, no vision is too big. Make your backyard the place to be with Cox Pools. Cox Pools, 65 years strong and still making a splash. Visit coxpools.com or call 850-235-7957.
Jaguars football is officially back. Be there as number 2 overall draft pick Travis Hunter, quarterback Trevor Lawrence, and new head coach Liam Cohen take the field for the first time during the 2025 NFL regular season. Secure your seats for when the Jaguars take on the Panthers September 7th by going to jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We'll see you at the bank.
Krispy Kreme has a lot going on in August. Top on the agenda is the Crocs collaboration, featuring a limited edition of Krispy Kreme Crocs Classic Clouds. Krispy Kreme is offering a special dozen, featuring 3 fan-favorite donuts inspired by Crocs collaboration. And you can make the start of school a sweet celebration, too, with a trip to Krispy Kreme Donuts in front of HCA Hospital, 23rd Street, Panama City, and on the Ross Clark Circle in Dothan. Krispy Kreme Donuts since 1937, where you get them hot.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Lynn Haven, W Field, Q, Fort St. John. Powered by Panama City Toyota, ESPN Northwest Florida. Can you take the hits? Here comes Sports Blitz. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And good morning, Northwest Florida. The Sports Blitz is on the air. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Call the show. Text the show. 850-215-6290. We are streaming on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. You can find us on all of those social mediums as ESPN Northwest Florida. Download our app. Take us with you everywhere you go. We're in the Google Play Store. We are in the Apple App Store. Again, you can find us there as ESPN Northwest Florida. Visit the website, espnpc.com, to keep up with everything that is going on here at the studios. James Fife here in the captain's chair. Joining me today on the ones and the twos, making us go out to that world that we call radio, Bone Crusher. Bone Crusher, it is Friday.
All right.
It is Friday. Beach flags are red still out there, so be careful in the water, ladies and gentlemen. And we still have that tropical storm spinning out there, but it is now really looking like it's totally going to curve away from us. So we here in the Panhandle look to be okay with what will be happening. Now, there might be some higher surf on the east side of Florida. So if you are a fan of surfing, if you are a fan of getting out there and crashing on and riding those waves, maybe head out to the Atlantic here. Maybe on like Sunday-ish, Monday-ish, you might be able to get some waves that you can actually ride with some of those surfboards. Kind of crazy that when I was out here working for the parks, that how many people, when we get a big storm like that coming in and those waves are rocking, will get out there with surfboards, and it'll be a double red flag. which does mean you can't be in the water, but there is a caveat to that law and to that rule. Where if you have your own flotation device that is attached to you, you may be in the water. So as long as you have a surfboard and it is wrapped to you via your ankle, arms, whatever, you are safe. Well, not safe. Let's change the words there. You are legally good to go and hit the water. So it was kind of crazy. I remember one of these times that we had some nice, 8-foot, 10-foot waves coming in, and the surfers, it's amazing. Like, you never see any surfboards really out here because we don't really have that much surf here. It's usually a pretty calm, like 2-3 foot thing here. But those days, you actually see the surfers hitting the waves. It's kind of neat to watch because it's something I've not seen a whole lot of around here. So, surfers, be ready to head over to the Atlantic. You might get some good gnarly waves, man. All right, let's head on into, I got a daily question for all of our listeners out there. The question of the day, call to the show, 850-215-6290. What is your sports tattoo? Or what sports tattoo would you get? We'll cover mine here a little bit later on in the show, but got to let you know, 20 days to NFL kickoff, 18 days to college football kickoff, and we have preseason football this weekend. Let's go over some scores from last night. No WNBA games last night, so we can hop on into Major League Baseball. Orioles taking on the Mariners yesterday. The Orioles get the victory 5-3 over the Seattle Mariners. Guardians taking on the Marlins. The Guardians get the victory 9-4 over the Marlins. Nationals taking on the Phillies. The Nationals get the win 3-2 over the Phillies. Tigers and Twins go into extra innings, takes them all the way to 11 innings to find a winner in this one. But the Tigers prevail over the Twins 4-3, and the Diamondbacks defeat the Rockies. The Diamondbacks 8 runs, the Rockies 2 runs. Cubs taking on the Blue Jays, a low-scoring affair here. The Blue Jays 2 runs, the Cubs 1 run. The Blue Jays win in Toronto. Now let's turn our attention to our Atlanta Braves. This game was on our airwaves last night. Well, let's just go over a little bit of what we saw. First 2 innings, no real excitement. Get on into the 3rd inning. Francisco Lindor hits a nice home run straight away to center field, about a 409-footer that landed out there, giving the Mets the 1-0 victory. But the Mets do not hold on to the lead for a very long time, because coming up in the top of the 4th, we have Ozzie.
Ozzie smokes one in the air to deep right field. That takes flight back to the wall. Soto back, and that is gone. And the game is tied as Ozzie Albies just rocked one over the right field wall for his 10th homer of the year.
So that was a single shot for Ozzie there, 377 feet over to right center. We have a tied 1-1 ball game in the 4th inning. Now we skip on ahead a little bit, going into the 6th inning to find some more action that happens. And that action just happens to be coming from a Ozzie Albies.
Oh, one to Ozzie, and he flips one in the air out to left field. That'll drop in for a base hit. Baldwin will score, and that looping liner by Ozzie Albies makes it 2-1 Braves here in the top of the 6th inning.
So the Braves take the lead 2-1 in the 6th inning thanks to that Albies single, but the Braves do not hold that lead for very long. Bottom of the 6th inning, Brandon Nimmo hits a sacrifice fly into left field for Lindor to score. That ties the game up at 2 apiece. Then Pete Alonso singles into left field to get Juan Soto in on a run. So it is now 3-2 in favor of the Mets. But we run into the top of the 8th inning now. We got Harris with a double to center, and that scores White. So we have a tied 3-3 ball game. And then who other to break the tie than Ozzie?
Oh, one to Ozzie, and he flips one in the air out to left field. That'll drop in for a base hit. Baldwin will score, and that looping liner by Ozzie Albies makes it 2-1 Braves here in the top of the 6th inning.
All right, Ozzie gets the double there in the 8th inning, and that gets the lead for the Braves, 4-3, driving in Michael Harris. Braves don't need any more runs for the rest of the game because our final for the evening, 4-3 for the Atlanta Braves over the New York Mets. The Braves now sitting at 53-68, 23-38 on the road. The New York Mets now sitting at 64-57. As we heard, a nice night for Ozzie Albies. I have not been riding high on him this season. I have not at all. With good reasoning. I even asked why he wasn't traded to Sam Peebles. Then I asked Sam, do you think Ozzie will be back next year? Sam said yes. But Sam made good arguments that it's pretty cheap at $3 million to keep him around. So I kind of agree with that. But Ozzie, looking good tonight. 4 at-bats, 1 run, 3 hits, 3 RBIs, and 1 home run on the evening. I would call that a successful evening for Ozzie Albies. Congratulations, Ozzie, for kind of getting back into my good limelight. Now keep it rolling, man. Keep it rolling, and I might even want to see you around again for the next season. Pitching for the Braves, we had Bryce Elder. Bryce Elder comes out with 7 innings pitched, giving up 5 hits, 2 earned runs, and collecting 6 strikeouts. Dylan Lee comes in for the 8th inning, gets the hold, pitches 1 inning, gives up 1 hit, collects 1 strikeout. And Raisel Iglesias doing Raisel Iglesias things now. Thankfully, he is not in that slump anymore. 1 inning pitched, getting 1 strikeout, and collecting his 17th save of the season. Kodai Senga for the Mets just getting shelled in this one. He had he had played 5 2/3 innings, given up 2 hits, 2 of them earned runs, only 7 Ks on that. His over-under was at 8.5, so he was on the underside on that. Edwin Diaz got to come in there in the 9th inning, mostly, I think, for the rust wear factor for the Mets to make sure that he wasn't rested out for the next time he needed to be out there. 1 inning pitched, collected 1 strike out. So congratulations to the Braves on a big win last night. And while I was sitting here writing the show sheet, not only writing our show sheet, which is something we do every day here, you come into work prepared, you got your notes ready to go.
Yeah.
You're ready to go. And so I printed out the show sheet, and as soon as I hit that print button, what happens? We get some breaking news.
Oh, yeah.
Breaking news.
So the NCAA Committee on Infraction ruled on the University of Michigan because of that whole scouting situation that we remember, Coach Harbaugh getting in trouble for. And now the case is kind of finally settled, finally getting wrapped up. The NCAA has finally handed out everything to do with this situation so we can put it in the past now. Now we thought, are we going to see Michigan get, some bowl bans? And if they get a bowl ban, that's a postseason ban as well. So that means no postseason tournament, even if you go, 12-0 or 13-0 when you win the Big Ten. That would be kind of hard. Mm-hmm. So the NCAA, thinking about it, and I think this was the smarter move, said, no, there will be no preseason bans for the team. However, there will be some punitive penalties to the team. Now, Sharon Moore, the head coach now, who was the assistant coach with Coach Harbaugh, he will be getting a 2-game suspension. So he will sit out 2 games at some point. I'm going to assume probably the first 2 games of the season. And the very first game of the season is New Mexico. And if you're Michigan, I don't think you're really worried about New Mexico. Now, can somebody pull an upset? Absolutely. But New Mexico, had a grand total, I do believe, of 2 wins last year in Conference USA, which is, I'm a Conference USA fan. I don't want to say Conference USA fan. I'm a fan of a team that's in Conference USA, being the Hilltoppers. So I know a little bit about it.
The Hilltoppers.
And, yeah, New Mexico State, or New Mexico, don't worry about it, Michigan. I think you have that one in hand. So we will see Sherrod Moore out for 2 games. Other things, the NCAA did levy a 8-year show cause penalty on Connor Stallions and a 10-year show cause penalty now on Coach Harbaugh. And basically a show cause penalty breaks the contract for the team from the NCAA, saying you can't have these guys anymore. In fact, you can't have these guys, well, one of them for 8 years, one of them for 10 years. So it's basically keeping the school from ever hiring those guys again, because I doubt we'll see Harbaugh coming back to Michigan in 10 years. So that's another thing that was done that doesn't really affect anything because, well, Connor Stallions is already gone. Coach Harbaugh is already gone. Mm-hmm. And Michigan, trust me, with what is going on right now, wouldn't even think about bringing them back. So mostly this was just done to make sure that it really doesn't happen, though it will not happen. Now, here's the big penalty, though. Here is the huge penalty.
The giant slap on the wrist.
For the next 2 postseasons, the University of Michigan will be giving up the revenues that they earn in those postseason games. This could be anywhere from $20 million to over $25 million. That's a good chunk of money, even for a big program like Michigan. That's a good chunk of cash. That's a lot of money. Because what? You're allowed to pay your guy, your athletes now, what, like $20.5 million total? So that's basically, you're wiping away one whole year of what you can pay athletes. Athletes, not just the football team, but the whole athletic department. That's some big money, guys. That's some big money. And I like this punishment better than the postseason bans. And here's why. Let's think about how college football is currently constructed. How many of those kids are playing now for the University of Michigan that were on the team when the sign stealing was happening? I bet it's very few still left, if any. So if you say now, okay, Michigan, we're punishing you by not letting you in the postseason. Well, the guy that caused the whole stink up right now, he's already gone. You're not punishing him. The head coach at the time is already gone. Coach Harbaugh gone. He gone. So how are you punishing him? You're not. The players that were on the sideline when those sign-stealing things, most of them are probably gone. So who are you punishing? Those kids that are already gone? Sure, go ahead. No, that's not good. So I like it because they're not punishing the kids that are currently there. Because those kids, most of them weren't there when this happened. Most of them had no idea what was going on. Most of them were in high school when this was going on. So it's nice to see the NCAA not punishing the kids for something they had absolutely 0% involvement with. And another thing that this is showing is it is showing you the direction of which the NCAA is going in which college sports in general is going in and is already in this direction. Because what happened back in the day when something like this happened? You get the postseason ban for 4 years. You get the coaches, suspended half the season, something like that. You have a reduction in the number of scholarships that you can award. Okay, of those things that happened, no scholarships were taken away from the university. The coach got 2 games. That's currently sitting there. The coach that's currently sitting there got 2 games. So, and we're not getting rid of any of the postseason play for Michigan. But we are finding heavy amounts of money because that now is the driver in college football. We've been saying it for a while. But this is just even deeper proof because getting rid of scholarships at a huge university like Michigan now, does that make a difference? Sure, maybe, but not really, because you got enough boosters. You got enough NIL deals that basically you're giving the guys scholarships. Well, they're not scholarships, but you're giving them enough money to pay the university so that way they can be there. So reducing scholarships, what kind of punishment is it? Nothing much really, especially to large programs like the University of Michigan. They got enough boosting backers. That's not a worry. And with all the kids going and changing schools, every season now, it seems, because, when that portal opens, everybody moves. No sense in punishing kids that were somewhere else. So what do you punish? The money. The money is what is making it go round right now. The money is going to get the attention of the backers, of the boosters, of the universities, saying, we don't want our money going to the NCAA. No, we want our money to stay right here. We don't want it going away. The boosters and the backers, do they care about, losing postseasons? I'm sure they do. Do they care about losing the coach here or there for a couple of games? I bet they don't. Do they care if scholarships are cut? Not a bit. Do they care where their greenback dollars are going? Absolutely, they care about that. So going forward, I do believe that we are going to see a lot more punishments for schools looking similar to this format. We're not really going to see scholarships going missing much anymore. We're still going to see coaches getting suspended and things like that. I bet we're going to see less of it, mostly because if you look at it back in the day, coaches were getting in troubles, for like dropping McDonald's bags filled with $100 bills. Not as much of a thing anymore because you don't have to drop those $100 bill McDonald's bags in the shower anymore. You just have boosters walk up to the kids literally and say, hi, sign this contract and we'll give you money.
Yeah. It's out in the open.
Yeah. So we don't have to worry about those things now. But what we do have and what we can control is similar to basically how any other business operates. Because look at the NFL. Usually when something goes wrong in the NFL and a team gets in trouble, two things happen. They usually lose draft picks, which is basically like losing scholarships, and fines. And now that's what we're going to see mostly now in college football. We're going to see coaches suspended a little bit, and we are going to see big-time, multi-million-dollar fines. $150,000 fines, no. $250,000 fines, no. Too low. Too low. There's a lot of money here. The NCAA knows there's a lot of money here. And the only way to get all of that attention is playing with the money. All right, so that was the news update. When we get back, we are going to look at Major League Baseball standings with just 6 weeks left to go in the season. You're tuned in to the Sports Blitz, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Call the show, text the show, 850-215-6290.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The Afternoon Underdogs.
You're getting as drunk as you can possibly get. You're carrying out goalposts into the river. Just to beat Alabama in the regular season. As an Alabama fan, I feel really good. It's like, Daddy, sometimes it's okay to allow you guys to win every once in a while to make your program feel really good. You know what I mean?
4 to 6 weekdays. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna with your weather forecast from ESPN Northwest Florida on this Friday. A chance of thunderstorms and sunshine this afternoon, evening with a wind at 9 miles per hour coming out of the west-southwest and the high of 91. Tonight, look for clear skies with a temperature near 80. Tomorrow, a high around 89 and mostly sunshine in the morning and then a chance of thunderstorms. This weather forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Looking for dependable civil construction in the Florida Panhandle? CBC Construction has you covered. From land clearing and drainage to roads and underground utilities, CBC delivers high-quality work on time and on budget. Locally owned and operated, CBC is trusted by schools, developers, and municipalities. To learn more, call CBC Construction 850-740-3815 or visit cbcconstruction.com. That's cbcconstruction.com.
Want to bet on sports but no clue where to start? Millions of players are already making moves on Hard Rock Bet. Your friends might be winning. Why not you? Bet with confidence. Bets by real players help guide your picks. Go with the crowd and cash in on the wins. Any pick that catches your eye. Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us. New players bet $5 and get $150 instantly in bonus bets. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
With some incredible starting pitching and a roster loaded with stars, don't ever count the Atlanta Braves out.
And he hits one to deep right field, streaking back towards the wall, and balls in the chop house.
Tonight, don't miss Braves baseball live from Progressive Field in Cleveland as Ronald Acuna leads Atlanta into action against the Guardians.
Braves traveling to Cleveland to take on the Guardians. Pre-game 6 o'clock, first pitch 6:10. Your home for the Braves on the Gulf Coast, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Can you take the hits? Here comes the Sports Blitz. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Sports Blitz on the air, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Call the show, text the show, 850-215-6290. We are streaming on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Download our app, take us with you everywhere you go, and visit the website, ESPNPC.com. And baseball season is in full swing, and Hard Rock Bet is the best place to get in on every pitch, strikeout, and home run, all in the palm of your hand. Don't want to wait all 9 innings? Try betting on if there is the first inning run. Step up to the plate today because who knows? You might just go yard. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT. Let's wander now into Major League Baseball standings. We got about 6 weeks left of the season. Most teams around that 40 to 42 game mark. So we got a quarter of the way left. We got some exciting races going on. We'll start off in the American League. Over in the American League East, the Toronto Blue Jays holding on to the lead there, 71-51. They are 5 games in front of the Boston Red Sox, who are 66-56. Following a half game behind the Red Sox is the New York Yankees at 64-57. The Tampa Bay Rays at 59-63. That means they are 12 games back of the Toronto Blue Jays. And the Orioles, 55-65 on the season, 15 and a half games back. Moving on into the Central, we got the Detroit Tigers 71-52 leading the division. The Cleveland Guardians at 63-57, now 6.5 games back. They were over 10 games back just 2 weeks ago. So it kind of shows you Tigers slipping a little bit. Guardians playing really well right now. Kansas City Royals 60-61 on the season, 10 games behind the Tigers. Minnesota Twins 57-64, 13 games back. And the Chicago White Sox at 44-77 at 26 games behind. Rolling on into the west of the American League, the Houston Astros got the lead over there, 68-53. The Seattle Mariners right on the heels, 67-55, 1.5 games back. The Texas Rangers 61-61 for an even 500, 7.5 games behind the Astros. And the Athletics 54-69, games back. Now let's look at the league standings. So, number one overall right now in the American League, going to the Toronto Blue Jays at 71-51. Second place right now, the Tigers at 71-52. They are a half game behind there. Number one team in the West, the Houston Astros, coming in at third at 68-53. And then who else do we got in here? We got the East, Central, West. Yep, those are the three right now. So let's head on into the wild card. Wild card standings. Number one right now, the Seattle Mariners at 67-55. Following them up is the Boston Red Sox at 66-56. And the New York Yankees holding on to that last wild card spot right now at 64-57. The Guardians right on the heels of the Yankees, 63-57, a half game behind there. Texas Rangers, 61-61 at 3.5 games back. And we got the Kansas City Royals at 60-61, 4 games behind right now, and then everybody else is over 5 games behind, so I don't really like their chances, but we'll just go over them. Los Angeles Angels, followed by Tampa Bay Rays, Minnesota Twins, Baltimore Orioles, Athletics, and bringing up the caboose of the American League, the Chicago White Sox. Now, it's got a lot of great runs right here that we could be looking forward to, because there is some really good-looking tight races, especially if we look at the West. The Astros and the Mariners, that is just 1.5 games dividing those two teams. So if we look at that over the last 6 weeks, that could go back and forth many, many more times. Right now, ESPN is giving the Astros a 93% chance of making the playoffs and giving the Mariners a 92% chance of making the playoffs. When we look at the wild card race, just excitement. We got the Mariners, we got the Red Sox, and we got the Yankees. We know those three are in right now. But the Guardians at only a half game back of the Yankees at 63-57, cannot count them out at all right now. They have been playing red hot over the past 2 weeks. In fact, 7-3 in the last 10 games. Still have a negative run differential on the year at a -22. More of a pitching issue, really, than a run scored issue. But they are not getting the runs in as heavily as they were towards the beginning of the season. But they're still winning some games with those low scores, and wins are wins at this point in the season. Doesn't matter if they're pretty. Doesn't matter if they're blowouts. Doesn't matter if it is just one run. Right now, you got to be stacking. Rangers back at 3.5 games. Do not them. They have been a really great offensive production team, and the pitching has been getting better over the last month since basically the All-Star break. Now, the Royals, I don't know how to feel about the Royals sitting at 60-61. Under 500, but only 4 games out of the wild card spot. So not a huge interest for me, but we still got to keep an eye on them because they might sneak on into the playoffs. ESPN gives them a 7% chance right now of making the playoffs. Other teams that ESPN is giving high chances for the playoffs, the New York Yankees at 84%, the Red Sox at 72%, the Guardians only at a 30%. I think they might want to revise that one because I'm feeling quite confident on them catching up to some of these other teams like either the Yankees or the Red Sox. Let's move on into the National League now. National League East, number one team right now, the Philadelphia Phillies at 69-52. Coming in at second, the New York Mets, 64-57, 5 games back. The Miami Marlins, 58-63, 11 games behind. The Atlanta Braves, 53-68, 16 games back. And the Washington Nationals, 49-72. That means 20 games behind for them. Moving on into the National League Central, the Milwaukee Brewers got 76 wins and 44 losses. They are leading the Central right now. No game for them yesterday, so no chance to win or lose, so they are still sitting at that 12-game win streak. Chicago Cubs coming in second in the National League Central, 68 and 52, 8 games behind. The Cincinnati Reds, 64 and 58, 13 games back. St. Louis Cardinals, 61 and 61, 16 games behind. And the Pittsburgh Pirates, 51 and 71 on the season, for 26 games behind the Milwaukee Brewers. Looking into the West, the San Diego Padres, now the number 1 team in the National League West, 69 and 52. The Dodgers coming in second at 68 and 53. They are currently 1 game behind. This is the first time all season that the Dodgers have not sat in that number 1 spot in the West. Are the Dodgers slipping? I think so. 4 losses in a row right now and falling below the Padres. Not looking good for the Dodgers, though Major League Baseball and ESPN are giving the Dodgers a 99% chance to make the playoffs. So, yeah, their record's good enough right now, but they are getting cold. And if they go into the playoffs cold, good chance of them getting cooked and left to go home early. Fingers crossed, everybody. The Arizona Diamondbacks at 60 and 62, nine and a half games back. San Francisco Giants 59 and 62, 10 games behind. And the Rockies, 32 wins, 89 losses, 37 games behind. Ooh, that is a bad baseball team. Check out the run differential, a negative 332. That is awful. The second worst team in run differential, just to put it in a little bit of perspective on how awful this is. Coming in second worst, we got the Washington Nationals at a negative 147. That's about 200 runs difference, ladies and gentlemen. We haven't even played 200 games. We won't even play 200 games. That's like giving up an extra 2 runs a game, basically, over anybody else that's given up runs. That is awful. Awful, 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 bad, bad, bad. All right, let's look at the league standings for the National League. Number 1 team in the National League, this will be the Milwaukee Brewers at 76 and 44. Coming in at second is the San Diego Padres at 69 and 52, 7.5 games behind the Brewers, and leading the East right now, so they are coming in third in National League standings. The Philadelphia Phillies at 69 and 52. I am going to guess the Padres have some kind of tiebreaker over the Phillies to put them into second place instead of third place, because they have both played the same amount of games and are sitting at 7.5 games behind the Milwaukee Brewers. Wild card for the National League. Coming in at the first wild card spot, we got the Chicago Cubs at 68 and 52. The Los Angeles Dodgers at 68 and 53 are a half game behind the Cubs. The New York Mets still holding on to that third wild card spot at 64 and 57. The Cincinnati Reds on the outside looking in at 64 and 58, but that means it's only a half of game that separates the Reds from the Mets. The Mets are really close to falling out, boys and girls. Let's just hope.
We did our part.
The Braves did the best they could. Braves taking 2 out of 3 from the Mets, because the Mets were at that 3.5, was it? Yes, it was. And now they are down to just the half because of the Reds getting the wins as well, with the Reds doing their part to help catch those Mets. St. Louis Cardinals at 61 and 61 are 3.5 games behind. Arizona Diamondbacks at 60 and 62, 4.5 games back. And the Giants at 59 and 62 are 5 games behind, but the Giants are on a losing streak right now with 5 losses in a row. They might have just ran out of steam. Following behind them, the Miami Marlins, Atlanta Braves, and the Atlanta Braves are 11 games behind. Pittsburgh Pirates, Washington Nationals, and the Colorado Rockies at 32 and 89, bringing up the caboose of the National League. Although sad news, because the Rockies did get that 2-game win streak earlier in this week. The Rockies now down to a potential of 119 losses, which will not catch last year's White Sox of 121. Now, can they get together and make some history and get over 121 losses? Absolutely. But they have been looking a little bit better since the All-Star break for some weird reason. It's like, hey, let's just trade a whole bunch of guys and we'll get better after the trade deadline. Explain that one to me. Not quite sure, but it's baseball. Weird stats like that happen all the time. Races to watch. Let's look into the division races right now for the National League. Basically, really only race that has a chance of being exciting there is going to be coming out of the West, with the Padres and the Dodgers only being separated by 1 game. Now, the Mets do have a chance to catch the Phillies. The Mets are 5 games behind the Phillies in the East, but we don't want that. And the Mets in their last 10 are 1 for 9, so it looks like they are cooling off as well, which is good news for us Braves fans, in my opinion. For the wild card, races in the wild card, that wild card could shuffle heavily at the top between the Dodgers and the Cubs. We might even see the Padres falling into there. The Mets and the Reds could flip-flop today, even if the Reds win and the Mets lose, or even if the Reds just win on their own merit. Should put them in front of the Mets. And who would have thought that the Reds would be in a playoff talk this late in the season? I agree they got better. They look better, and the young guys are playing well, and that's why we are seeing them there right now. Cardinals are still going to be hanging out with that 3.5 games back. Now, they are a negative 21 run differential, and everybody else that is in front of them do have that positive scoring differential. But the Cardinals are just playing 500 ball, and they've been just playing 500 ball all season with regards to the first 2 weeks where they looked pretty bad. But after that point, it's been just pretty average baseball. So an average baseball does not land you in the postseason in baseball because it's not as an expansive of a playoff as, say the NHL or the NBA, where, half the league gets in. So right. You can be at 500, or you can even be at under 500 and get into the NBA or the NHL playoffs. Is it a good look for those leagues? No, but the rules are you get 16 teams in. So every once in a while you're going to get a skunker in just because you got to fill out the playoff roster. So we are heading into exciting times in baseball. Quarter of the season left. What happens? I don't know, but I will be watching. Coming up next, we're going to have our NFL Pick'ems. If you would like to join us, call us here at the studio, 850-215-6290, and you can get on the Pick'ems with us right here at the Sports Blitz.
Mornings on ESPN Northwest Florida just got unsportsmanlike.
The latest Browns hope is Shador. Before then, it was Baker Mayfield, it was Johnny Manziel. At the time they were with the Cleveland Browns, I think neither of them were ready for the stardom and the roller coaster ride that being the quarterback of the Cleveland Browns comes with the way that this guy is.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle. Weekdays 5 to 7 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Tired of boring merch and want your brand to stand out like the big names? Elevate your look with Red 7 Tees. They don't just print shirts, they create bold identities. They are a veteran-owned custom apparel shop providing the kind of detail that turns heads, using high-quality digital printing and embroidery to give you that unique style you love with no minimums or cookie-cutter designs. From small business to sports teams, if you've got a vision, they'll help help you wear it proudly. Visit red7tees.com.
Mom and Dad, another school year will soon be here. Students have been dressing in style and comfort for over 50 years shopping that boot store with the widest selections and lowest prices on brand name clothing, boots, and shoes with the friendliest staff. Why shop anyplace else? That boot store, open Tuesday through Thursday, 9 till 5, Friday and Saturday, 9 till 5:30, next to Bill Bird Kia, 15th Street, Panama City. That boot store, where God is good all the time.
In a world full of noise, one name cuts through it all.
Amplify AI.
We help HVAC, plumbing, and home service pros get found fast. More leads, more calls, more results. This ain't just marketing. It's AI-powered performance.
Amplify AI.
Hear the roar.
Call Lee at 850-299-1269. Amplify AI.
That bear ain't just for show.
Now, it's time for your Atlanta Braves morning update. Presented by Tidal Wave Auto Spa. Get clean car happy at any of the 250-plus Tidal Wave Auto Spa locations today.
Braves take Game 3 and the series from the Mets. I'm Barrett Salee, and this is your Braves Radio Network morning update.
Get clean car happy all season long at Tidal Wave with exclusive membership discounts, giveaways, and more. Visit TidalWaveAutoSpa.com/Braves for more information.
After the first two games were wild, the Braves calmed things down in the 4-3 win over the Mets on Thursday night. Ozzie Albies, the hero of the day, one home run. A RBI double in the eighth proved to be the game winner. Ozzie got hot, as did Michael Harris. 3 for 4 on the day. Also knocked in a run. How about Bryce Elder? 7 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs. 2 of them were earned, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts. The Braves take the 3-game set, and they take the season series from the Mets. That is the 8th straight year the Braves have won the season series over their NL East rivals. Game 1 against the Guardians coming your way tonight. You'll see Hurston Waldrop for the Braves. He's 2-0, has a 1.54 ERA. Joey Cantillo going for the Guardians. He's 3-2, has a 4.11 ERA. For a leadoff show at 5:55 and your first pitch against those Guardians, 7:10 Eastern, 6:10 Central on the Braves Radio Network.
The new Sports Blitz.
Oh, yes!
Rants, hot takes, and huge reactions are incoming on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
You are tuned in to the Sports Blitz Northwest Florida, listening to ESPN Northwest Florida, coming to you live from beautiful Panama City Beach. You can call the show and you can text the show 850-215-6290. We are streaming on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Download the app. Take us with you everywhere you go. And visit the website, espnpc.com. And we got a good morning, James, from Nancy Gregory. Thank you, Nancy, for tuning in and hanging out with us here on the Sports Blitz. And Atlanta Braves baseball will be heard this evening right here on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. The Braves traveling to Cleveland to take on the Guardians. 6 o'clock for the pregame after the Afternoon Underdogs. 6:10 for the first pitch. Atlanta Braves baseball on ESPN Northwest Florida is sponsored locally by Bill Bird Kia, PCB Hobby, Panama City Toyota, Hewitt Tire and Auto, and Hometown Towing. All right, let us wander into a little bit of NFL Pick'em. And yeah, we are in the preseason, without doubt. We are in the preseason, but we are just so excited to have some football back that Bone Crusher and I, we're going to have a couple of Pick'ems. And if you would like to join us, call us here at the studio, 850-215-6290, and we can get your pick'ems as well.
And we'll tell you why your picks are wrong.
Wrong! It's preseason. They're all wrong. Let's get it started with tonight. First game of the weekend. This game will be at 6 o'clock this evening, coming to us live from Atlanta, Georgia. The Falcons taking on the Tennessee Titans. Right now, ESPN has the spread in favor of the Titans by 3 with a over-under of 37.5. 37.5. Now, Bone Crusher, big Falcons fan.
Huge.
So you're going with the Titans, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Atlanta's got a stable of running backs, so, we're not going to be short in the rushing tonight. So that's going to be a good game in the Mercedes-Benz Dome. It's going to be raucous, and I got the Falcons by at least 10.
Oh, he says by at least 10. Do we see Penix tonight or not? I have not heard a definitive one way or the other if he is actually going to be in the game. But my Titans fandom, and especially my preseason Titans fandom, where I know I can lose and it's okay, says it is going to be the Tennessee Titans. I don't feel great about the spread because I never feel great about the spread in any preseason game because you just never really knows what happens. But with the over-under set at 37.5, I am feeling the over. So I will take the Titans on the win, and I will go with the over on that as well. Second game of the evening on this Friday, only 2 games tonight. We will have the Kansas City Chiefs traveling up to Seattle to take on the Seahawks. Looks like this might be a wet and rainy game coming out of Seattle. Right now, the odds makers at ESPN have it a favor to the Seahawks at 3 points with an over-under of 39.5. Well, the Chiefs are not going to be playing any of their starters. We already know we're not going to see Mahomes. We already know we're not going to see Travis. I don't think we're going to see any of the other bigger names that the Chiefs have. The Seahawks are going to start a couple of their starters. They haven't said exactly how many and for how long. So right now, knowing it's going to be rainy, knowing it has a chance of being sloppy, give me the Seahawks.
Yeah, I'll go with that. It's a close game anyway. If the weather's rough, it'll be home court advantage.
Absolutely. Let's roll on into some Saturday games. This game kicking off at noon right here. Nope, not right here in Florida. It will be up in Detroit. The Dolphins taking on the
next
Lions.
Door.
That's just right next door. We share the exact same weather. Without a doubt, we share the exact same weather. So the Dolphins taking on the Lions. Right now, the odds makers are giving the Dolphins a 2.5 point favorite with an over-under of 37.5. Bone Crusher, I'll let you take this one first.
Yeah, I'll go with the Fins there. And be sure to listen to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida for select Miami Dolphin games this season.
All right, bringing the Dolphins into the house. Love it. For me, preseason game, there was a tie last week for the Dolphins. The Lions so far are 1-1 because they played in that Hall of Fame game. How do I feel? Well, the Lions have more practice, but the Dolphins are going to be starting more starters. I will take the Dolphins, and I will also take the over on that 37.5. Let's go scroll through, find some other games of interest. Everybody likes talking about Shedeur Sanders, right? Right. So let's take a look at the Browns taking on the Eagles. This game coming to us from Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia. The odds makers are giving the favorite to Philadelphia by 4 points with an over-under of 37.5. I am just going to take the Eagles on this one because I don't think the Browns can even pull anything together during the preseason. Bone Crusher.
So what is Shedeur Sanders' status for this game?
Shedeur is out with an oblique injury, so we will not be seeing Shedeur this evening or tomorrow.
Then I'm going to give the Cleveland Browns. They get the locker room cancer Sanders off the field, and they team up and they get the win.
Ooh, all right. I like it.
He's going to be, if he is successful, no matter what happens, he's going to be a locker room cancer. And that's kind of why I'm not rooting for him.
I mean, it's probably one of the reasons he dropped as hard as a rock like he did. Because, I mean, everybody, first round. Where did he go?
Show me a slice of humility.
5th round is where he went. Yeah. He was botching interviews, although I think that was one of those things that once he wasn't going to be like number 1 or number 2 picked, I think he was doing that on purpose. I think he was just like, well, I can't be number 1, so I don't care anymore.
Yeah. Yeah,
and that's the only reason I can think of why you would perform so awfully in interviews. These are literally job interviews. It's like you're going in and talking to your chance at a future employer. You don't show up wearing headphones. You don't put them around your neck and halfway answer questions from your future employer. It just don't look good. Even though it's a draft and even though it's a business where you have competition in picking your next great talented employee. I mean, everybody has that in all businesses. But this one, you only have like 1 day a year where you're basically doing the majority of your hiring. Not many other businesses do that. So you've got to look good in those interviews because you only get a handful of them. After that, it's just left up to tape and whatever you can do. Pay attention in interview, kids. It could lead to a good job. All right, more. Everybody loves the Cowboys, right? No, but let's do it anyway. The Ravens taking on the Cowboys. This game coming to us from Arlington, Texas. Right now, the odds makers are giving the favorite to Baltimore by 2.5 points with an over-under of 36.5. Never pick the Cowboys. Never, ever, ever pick the Cowboys. Right. Therefore, I am taking the Ravens.
Agreed.
Ravens.
Ditto.
Yeah, no, never, ever pick the Cowboys. As long as Jerry is there, the art of the deal, the art of the negotiation is to get in an argument with the player, and instead of paying the player what he wants, argue with them for a while, and then have to give him $5 million more because you argued about it for so long. The art of the deal with Jerry Jones.
Oh, God.
How about we look at a New York game of New Yorkers? The Jets taking on the Giants. The Giants are the home team for this one. Giants have the 3.5 point favor with a 39.5 over under. Bone Crusher? How you feeling?
Giants at home game.
Giants at home. I will go on the opposite end on this one. I will take the Jets. Mostly because, I don't know, it's just preseason, and I think weird things will happen.
You got a feeling for the Jets.
And the Giants, I think, are going to be the better preseason team because we're going to get to see Abdul Carter for a little bit. We're going to see Jackson Dart for a bit. So we're actually going to see some really good rookie football players being played. But the Jets are the Jets. They'll, for some reason, do really great in the postseason and then have that, 4-win season during the regular season. So give me the Jets, and I will actually take the under on that 39.5. Buccaneers, Steelers. This game played in Pittsburgh. Tampa Bay, 2.5 point favorite, 38.5 over under for the game. Give me the Bucs on the road.
Too close for me. Tie game.
Oh, BC calling for the tie. I'm putting that down, man. Your official score is a tie. But if you look at it, we did have 3 ties last week. Yeah. There were 3 ties last week. So you might get the tiebreaker there. See what I did there?
Soccer? We got ties
now? We got ties now. Yeah, preseason, no overtime in preseason.
It was so exciting when it ended in a tie, man. That was such a great ending.
Dude, it was so great. I was so stoked to look up at the end of the day and see 14-14. Yeah. Made me feel good inside. Like, we didn't beat them. We're good people. All right, let's move on into the Sunday games. We got the Jaguars and the Saints. The Jaguars, a 3.5 point favorite with a 40.5 over under. Jaguars will be starting some starters this game. We know we'll see Trevor Lawrence. We will get to see Travis Hunter. I am really excited to see Travis Hunter to see if they get him a little bit more involved into the offensive game. And let's see if he can get some defensive stats going. Now, he was on the field last week for defense, but I think we'll see him a little bit more on the defensive side of the ball Sunday. I am going to take the Jaguars for the win over the Saints, who just don't have a quarterback.
Do you want to ride in my Jaguar?
Jaguar.
Do you like luxury?
A Jaguar. They're great cars. My dad had one for a little bit. He had
great at first.
He had a 90s one that, was nice. I liked, he had two through time. He had one that was like from the late 80s and then one from the late 90s. That one that he had from the late 80s, while it didn't run as good as the one from the late 90s, it was a beautiful car. Like, it was just a gorgeous looking car. But to get anybody to like do any repairs on it in the middle of Podunk, Kentucky, yeah, good luck with that. Ain't nobody around know how to work on a Jaguar.
Over-engineered.
That's the only problem really with the Jaguar is you cannot get it fixed locally unless you live in a big city somewhere.
And by the way, we do have tickets to the Jaguars home games this season. Keep listening for details on how you could grab a pair.
Be that big winner. All right, BC, you taking the Jags?
Big winner, big winner.
All right.
Dr. Puker's back.
Dr. Puker taking the Jags. Let's go with the other Sunday night game. This game will be live on the TV. Coming through Fox, we got the Bills taking on the Bears. The Bears favored by 3 with a 41.5. Over, under, Bone Crusher.
Buffalo.
The Bills, says Bone Crusher. Now, the Bills are not going to be starting any of their big starters, so give me the Bears, but also give me that under, because 41.5, too rich for my blood. And we'll wrap it up with the Monday night game real quick. Bengals, Commanders, Bone Crusher. Bengals. I will take the Commanders. Bengals are favored by 4.5 with a total over-under of 42.5. When we get back, it is time for our oddities. You are tuned in to the Sports Blitz 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Call the show, text the show 850-215-6290.
ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Thinking about the kicking game when you were talking about it, and the punter is this guy named Blake Dowd, and his transfer school is Colorado School of Mines.
I got my master's from there, and you were so unbelievable.
I know. Weekday morning 7 to 9, ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida this Friday. The remainder of the day, a possibility of thunderstorms and sunshine, and 91 with a gentle breeze around 9 miles per hour out of the west-southwest. Tonight, clear skies with lows around 80. Tomorrow, mostly sunny in the morning, but otherwise a chance of thunderstorms and a temperature near 89. Moving into Sunday, about the same with a high of 88 and a likelihood of thunderstorms. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Bestway Portable Buildings has been your portable building specialist since 1989. Before you invest your hard-earned money someplace else, owner Jason Mulder invites you to stop by Bestway and get a quote on just about any size building. And whether you buy with Bestway or not, it's worth the trip just to meet Bestway Buddy. Say hello, buddy. Good boy. Bestway Portable Buildings, just north of Hartz Marine on 231, and online at bestwayportablebuildings.com. The best in portable buildings. Tell them Buddy sent you.
Krispy Kreme has a lot going on in August. Top on the agenda is the Crocs collaboration, featuring a limited edition of Krispy Kreme Crocs Classic Clouds. Krispy Kreme is offering a special dozen, featuring 3 fan-favorite donuts inspired by Crocs collaboration. And you can make the start of school a sweet celebration, too, with a trip to Krispy Kreme Donuts in front of HCA Hospital, 23rd Street, Panama City, and on the Ross Clark Circle in Dothan. Krispy Kreme Donuts since 1937, where you get them hot.
WGSX Lynn Haven WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota.
And that's out of the ballpark.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
With some incredible starting pitching and a roster loaded with stars, don't ever count the Atlanta Braves out.
And he hits one to deep right field, streaking back towards the wall, and balls in the chop house.
tonight. Don't miss Braves baseball live from Progressive Field in Cleveland as Ronald Acuna leads Atlanta into action against the Guardians.
Braves traveling to Cleveland to take on the Guardians. Pregame 6 o'clock, first pitch 6:10. Your home for the Braves on the Gulf Coast, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Now back to the Sports Blitz on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
It always sounds like a Blur groove to me, if anybody remembers the band Blur.
Right.
BC is looking at me like, maybe I know Blur?
Yeah.
Yeah. Very Damon Thayer sounding kind of beat. Also did the Gorillas, if you guys remember. But this is the Sports Blitz, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Call the show, text the show, 850-215-6290. We are streaming on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. You can find us on Facebook and all those social medias as ESPN Northwest Florida. You can also download the app. We're on the Google Play Store. We're in the Apple App Store. Again, ESPN Northwest Florida. And visit the website, ESPNPC.com. Jack Patterson in the Facebook feed saying good midday on this Friday, and a good midday to you, Jack. Beach flags are yellow. Just got an update from the fine people of Bay County that the beach flags are not red now, but have been downgraded to yellow. So get out and enjoy the beaches, everybody. Question of the day. What is your sports tattoo? Or what sports tattoo would you get?
If the Falcons win the Super Bowl, I'll get a Falcons tattoo, and I have no tattoos.
How big and where?
Not on my face.
Not on the face, okay.
I don't know, maybe the arm or the back.
Arm, back. Like, are you thinking like a full back piece, like, you know, like a Lombardi trophy and like the Dirty Bird, like holding it up on your back and like cover up the entire back?
Tramp stamp? Yeah.
No, bigger. Think bigger, man. Think bigger. I mean, we could go like tramp stamp Lombardi with like some Dirty Birds on the side. I mean, I think it'd be cute for you. You'd look great on the beach with it.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking, man,
I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
If it's a Super Bowl win for the Falcons, let's go big, man. Let's go huge. Let's just do the whole back. Do the whole back. Big old Lombardi trophy and a Dirty Bird. Like maybe put the score up there too with the Dirty Bird. Dirty Bird like looking up at the score, holding that trophy up all proud. There you go.
Okay.
I'm liking it.
All right.
I'm liking it. All right.
I'm agreeing to that right here, right now.
All right.
We got the Super Bowl.
We got a bet going on. We got a bet. Any of our tattoo artists in the area, give us a call. Let us know what it'll cost so we can start raising the funds for BC's Dirty Bird Super Bowl.
It will cost you your dignity.
Tattoo. That is what we got going on. Well, that'll bring us into the oddities, because truth is always stranger than fiction.
It's our whole budget right there on special effects.
Well, we had to spend a lot on that, man. Getting a theremin in here and getting a guy that plays it. Finding somebody that knows how to play the theremin anymore, not something that you can easily do.
It's not like you can just go to YouTube.
Yeah, it's not like the 1950s or 60s anymore, where there's theremins everywhere that everybody's playing. No, man, it's a true ancient art that must be practiced. Bone Crusher, how do you feel about subscription services? Are you a fan? Not a fan? You like having a monthly fee to do stuff?
It's not my favorite.
Well, how would you like to spend $18 a month for your Volkswagen Beetle to have 27 more horsepower? That is right, ladies and gentlemen. Volkswagen is introducing a subscription service that will unlock some extra horsepower in your car.
How did we not see this coming?
Isn't that so nice of them? You can go out there and you can go buy, I was about to say a $30,000 car, but really, where do you find a new car for $30,000 anymore? Nowhere, I would assume. Oh, isn't that nice? You know, go out, find you a nice, new, cool Volkswagen. Like, man, this Volkswagen looks great. I love that $50,000 price tag. Let's buy it. Hey, Mr. Salesman, tell me about it. Well, this is a great car. It comes with 201 horsepower, and if you want to pay an extra $18 a month, we can boost it up to $230 for you. Man, that is just a killer seller point to me. I love it.
I know people, my brother would totally buy that. He would do that. He'd be like, yes, take my money.
Yes, I have to have that extra 27 horsepower. But be careful. Be careful, those of you out there. I mean, how many of you have heard of the term jailbreaking? You familiar with the term jailbreaking, BC?
Same brother broke out of jail.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, so jailbreaking. So basically like hacking into your device to open it up to like the deeper thoughts that are inside so you can do kind of cool things with it, like unlock your horsepower. Well, Volkswagen has stated that if you do jailbreak the car, they will brick it and bring legal action against you. Love the future, man. Love it. I got a $50,000 car that you can brick whenever you want. Man, that puts so much confidence in me behind these electric vehicles. And I'm not opposed to electric vehicles like some people are. I don't own one. I probably won't for a while. I need them to go a little bit further distance because I live way out in the sticks. And there's not exactly a whole lot of places where you can fill up with these things along the way to many other places. So once they get that figured out, I might get one. But the whole idea that the entire thing that you're driving is a computer that can be controlled by somebody in Dusseldorf, Germany that goes, you know what, I'm tired of that guy driving that car and can like shut it off while I'm going down the road. That's a lot of confidence building in me. I just love that idea. I didn't pay my monthly subscription fee. Man, I hope my car starts tomorrow. Oh, there's a $35 reactivation fee if you would like to turn your car on.
Late on your payment? Guess what? No dice.
Oh man, isn't that
On the other side of that, I've seen them shut cars off in high speed chases. And what about maybe the reverse? We'll lower your costs. We'll lower your car insurance, but we'll restrict your RPMs. We'll restrict your horsepower. We'll make the car can only go 55 or something like that. I could see a safety aspect of that, and that could be a way to save money, save lives, keep people going there's no reason to go. These cars can go 200 miles an hour. People driving around Panama City Beach is
hitting the Hathaway Bridge at 80.
Yeah, I mean, where are you going to take this thing? There's no good that's going to come out of it except fulfilling your ego and maybe plowing through grandma at a farmer's market.
Oh, I mean, absolutely. But I mean, you could sell it that way, but the way that they're just really selling it to me with the unlock your extra power, you can have this and that. Like BMW last year announced that they're going to have heated seats in all cars. And some cars will come with the heated seats you can turn on and off whenever you want. And then some cars will have the heated seats with a subscription service. So great, I have heated seats, but I didn't pay my $8 this month. So I guess it's not going to have it on this cold December morning. It's just crazy, man. Just let me buy the car. Yeah. Just let me own the car. When it breaks, I take it to a mechanic. I don't want to have to go through a buggy old app to go, oh, where is it broken and which dealership or car guy do I got to take it to because it's this, that, or the other. No, complicated. I get it. It'll all get smoothed out. I'm assuming it will. What else do we got going on? Here is one. We'll just go ahead and give it a read. A woman who suffered diarrhea severe enough to get a whole flight canceled has issued an apology to her fellow passengers. Megan Reinster took to TikTok to tell her tale in which she declared she single-handedly managed to get a flight out of Indianapolis canceled. If that flight cancellation changed the trajectory of anyone's life in a negative way, I am so sorry, she said. But it wasn't without pain and suffering. In the clip, which has been viewed more than 20 million times, Reinston explained that she was flying from Portugal to the U.S. when she felt a disturbance deep inside. Something is brewing, she recalled. Something is happening, and I am not prepared to deal with it. Turns out the actress and nanny who suffered from a nasty bout of food poisoning. She had eaten an undercooked burger the day before her flight, and it was coming back to bite her. After landing in the U.S., she boarded another flight ran by United Airlines, and things took a turn for the worst. She said she had to dash to the loo during the takeoff, despite the seatbelt sign still being illuminated, in order not to have an accident. I couldn't let that happen to me for the next 20 minutes, so I have more diarrhea than any human being in their life, she said. I'm fully bloody sweating, I'm crying, and my insides are cramping, she recalled. She then started to be sick, too, and after alerting a flight attendant, she was given a bag to use. Reinston made such a mess in the plane's toilet that its next scheduled departure had to be canceled, with specialist cleaners in hazmat suits coming in to give the plane a good, deep cleaning.
Oh, man, that sounds like my wife's cooking.
That's tough. That's tough, man. That is. I feel bad for her. I feel bad for the flight attendant. I feel bad for the guy in the hazmat suit that had to walk into that. Oh, man. How awful of a day did that lady have? Oh, I mean, I've been on some flights before, but I am fortunate. I have never experienced anything like that on a flight in my lifetime. Feel bad for the lady. Feel bad for everybody involved. So
I
think
worked
about
with a guy with a colostomy bag. That was probably about the worst I've experienced.
Yeah, but at least he can kind of get to hold it from point A to point B. You know, if you're just gonna explode with the runs, it don't really care where you are. It's just gonna be flowing from you like the mighty buffalo. Oh man, feel bad. All right. Well, gambling. We talk about it here. I do a little bit of it. But the Little League World Series has sent out a statement asking some of these betting places to please stop having bets for the Little League World Series. And you know what? I'm going to stand by the Little League World Series here and say it's probably a bad idea to be betting on 12-year-olds. Just the thought of it to me is not great. I'm not big on betting in college sports even. I mean, I do it because I'm a degenerate like that. But it would not upset me if we stopped having college betting as well. But come on, betting in high school, betting even before high school on little leaguers. Come on, guys. We got to have something better to do with our lives than that, right? Right? I guess not. All right. Well, one more for you. A hiker died in Tennessee's Savage Gulf State Park after being bitten by a venomous snake, officials said Thursday. Grundy County Emergency Management Agency personnel were dispatched to Trailhead at the park at around 12:30 p.m. local time on August 8th. Agency Director Matthew Griffith told CBS News in a statement, the unidentified hiker was found about a half-mile down the trail when first responders arrived, including firefighters, rescue workers, EMS personnel, and park rangers. Griffith said the witness reported the man had picked up a snake and the reptile had bit him on the hand. The snake is believed to have been a timber rattlesnake. Ooh. The hiker was transported to an area hospital, Griffith said, and later died from his injuries. Griffith said that the hiker appeared to have died from an allergic reaction, but the death has not yet been determined. Right. Kids, if you don't know what it is, don't pick it up. If you don't know what it is, don't pick it up. If you don't know what it is, leave it sitting on the ground. If you don't know what it is, don't pick it up. And I mean a rattlesnake. A snake with a big old triangle head, a big old fat body, and this thing that rattles when it's not happy with you. At what point did Guy say, I think I can pick that thing up. It's totally safe, everyone. Watch me.
Yeah.
You know, all those famous, those famous last words. Hey, man, hold my beer. I'm going to pick up this rattlesnake.
Exactly.
I can't say much. I have picked up rattlesnakes before, like an idiot, but
you've probably eaten them too.
I do.
Yeah.
I do eat rattlesnakes. Every single one that we get at my farm, we turn into little fritters, basically. Not bad. They're a little bit hard to like break down and eat as a whole, just because of so many bones in them. The best thing you can do is you can get a couple of the stronger back pieces off the back, and you can fillet them. But just take the skin. You know, take it, peel it, get rid of all the innards. Once you're left with nothing but the meat and the bones, drop it in some boiling water for a few minutes, loosen up the meat from the bones, then just take a fork and you can scratch all that meat out, and you got all these little tasty nuggets of snake meat.
Follow me for more recipes.
Follow me for all of your recipes on how to survive in nature.
I mean, I haven't eaten a snake, but I was at my buddy's house last weekend, and he has like pet snakes. I've known him for years, and he's never had a lot of girlfriends. And I finally, I'm like, dude, do the math here. If you're a snake guy, if you like have pet snakes, you are seriously reducing the number of women that can be available in the dating pool to you. Just saying.
Especially if your whole Tinder profile is you holding the snake. Hey, ladies, check my snake out. Yeah,
you got a bag of snakes.
That's we're swiping left, buddy. Sorry.
Now, on the other hand, if you're a snake girl, if you're a hot snake girl, no problem.
Oh yeah, dudes will be like, oh, cool, snake. Even if it's not a snake guy, like it could be a guy that is just 100% terrified of snakes.
But she's hot.
But she's hot, man. Yeah. He's still going to be like, oh, yeah, that snake is sweet, lady. Yeah. Even though on the inside he's sitting there shaking, going, don't let it out, don't let it out, don't let it out. Now, I've had some pet snakes throughout time, and they're fine. They're entertaining. Never ate any of those, but I have eaten the rattlesnakes that I have gotten throughout time. And I take them and I mount them and do all the fancy stuff with them that, good old redneck hillbillies like me like to do. So it's just my entertainment value. Don't
you listen to the Dukes of Hazzard theme song.
Just the good old boys. Never mean no harm. All right, got a couple more minutes left
Country Boy Can't Survive.
Now come the old Jane, come on hillbilly. Let's see. Interesting news that has came over through last night. A little bit of hockey news that I saw coming through. The Ottawa Senators have purchased 11 acres of land. So this isn't breaking news, because the Senators purchased 10 acres of land back in 2019 with the idea that they were going to take this 10 acres and build a new stadium. But they had a ownership meeting, and the two owners that had the majority stake could not agree. So, of course, building fell through. Well, now they only have one majority owner. He has purchased land, so it is looking better now for the Senators to get into a new arena. The Senators have been playing in the same arena that they've been in since they got into the league back in 1993. Not a bad building, but let's face it, sports teams want a new building every 20 to 30 years. It's been 30 years. They want their new building. At least it looks like they're putting in more of their own money to get it, because I really don't know how much the Canadians are going to be willing to go, okay, hey, yeah, let's build a stadium. I don't think they're really in that kind of a mood right now. So it'll be left up to them. But I did see that coming through. So that might be a little bit of a point of interest to see if the Sens get a new stadium. Speaking of NHL stadiums, the Tampa Bay Lightning have sold the rights to the arena. It was Amalie Arena from 2014 up until, this week. It will now be Benchmark International Arena. The team and the company did not say how much was spent on this venture to have the name plastered up there, but they did let us know that $3 million will be going into local community hockey projects. So hey, at least they're out there trying to spread the word of the sport a little bit. And
who is this company?
Is always appreciated.
I've never heard of them.
Benchmark International. Let's see what Benchmark International does. I bet they are some kind of like lawyer firm or some kind of like business thing that, you know, when
crypto
you try
scammers.
maybe.
Remember when FTX was all over MLB?
Oh, I remember.
That
I mean,
guy's in jail.
you got to remember the Tennessee Titans. They first named their stadium Adelphia, and that business went under because they were cooking the books and just totally lying on about all the money they were making. So, you know,
sports teams getting into business with some bad dudes. Some bad hombres.
Let's see. Benchmark International. Do you got any kind of website that I could easily read? Benchmark International, a global M&A firm that provides business owners and operators with creative, value maximizing solutions for growing their products.
Yawn.
So, yeah, exactly. It sounds like they just do marketing for you. All right. There is our answer. Looks like a international marketing
Sorry
firm.
I asked, yeah.
When we get back, great friend of the show, Aaron Bearden, will be joining us. If you got any sports cards questions for Mr. Bearden, give us a call, 850-215-6290. This is the Sports Blitz.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. The Sports Blitz.
Overtime needs some changes. Let's just go to college overtime at this point.
Yeah, if you're going to give both teams possession, just give both teams possession. Take away the kickoff, take away the punt, and put the ball on the 40 and score.
Go. Just college it.
I got an idea.
Let's hit it.
Why don't we have sudden death, make teams show up with their defense to win a game?
The Sports Blitz. Weekdays 11 to 1. ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida this Friday. The remainder of the day, a possibility of thunderstorms and sunshine, and 91 with a gentle breeze around 9 miles per hour out of the west-southwest. Tonight, clear skies with lows around 80. Tomorrow, mostly sunny in the morning, but otherwise a chance of thunderstorms and a temperature near 89. Moving into Sunday, about the same with a high of 88 and a likelihood of thunderstorms. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Your NFL and college football headquarters is Dak Cajun Place. With 27 TVs, you won't miss a play or a game. Score 50-cent wings during live games every Monday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. 50-cent wings and $5 pitchers during live games only at Dak Cajun Place. LSU and Saints fans, wear your team colors and get free Jello shots when LSU or the Saints score. Plus brunch on Saturday and Sunday from 10 to 2 with $3 mimosas. Game like a local at Dak Cajun Place.
Take your next adventure at an award-winning Kia from Bill Bird Kia. Discover the new Kia. We invite you to stop by Bill Bird Kia and test drive the new 2025 Kia. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology. The 2025 Kia SUV family has movement that inspires. Drive away today in a new 2025 Kia Soul, Seltos, Sportage, Sorento, or Telluride. Fuel the thrill and command the road in the luxury of a 2025 Kia K5 sedan from Bill Bird Kia. Performance, power, and design built for you. Spark inspiration in the all-electric 2025 EV9. It's a modern masterpiece, fast charging, rugged, and roomy. Bill Bird Kia is the original home for the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by 2435 East 15th Street, Panama City, or anytime at BillBirdKia.PanamaCity.com. We'll treat you like family and give you the peace of mind you can trust. Your local community dealer is Bill Bird Kia.
With some incredible starting pitching and a roster loaded with stars, don't ever count the Atlanta Braves out.
And he hits one to deep right field, streaking back towards the wall, and balls in the chop house.
Tonight, don't miss Braves baseball live from Progressive Field in Cleveland as Ronald Acuna leads Atlanta into action against the Guardians.
Braves traveling to Cleveland to take on the Guardians. Pregame 6 o'clock, first pitch 6:10. Your home for the Braves on the Gulf Coast, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Now, taking your collection to the next level. It's the Instant Replay Sports Cards Box Break. With Aaron Bearden on ESPN Northwest Florida.
You are tuned in to the Sports Blitz, ESPN Northwest Florida. Call the show, text the show, 850-215-6290. We are streaming on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Download our app. Take us with you everywhere you go. And you can visit the website, espnpc.com, for all the information that is going on here at the studios. And you can rely on ESPN Northwest Florida for all of your weather updates. For the most accurate forecast and active weather updates, turn to Joanna to keep you safe. Our weather sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, Ellis Agency Insurance, and Earthworks of Northwest Florida. On the line with us right now is Aaron Bearden, Instant Replay Sports Cards. Aaron, that was a mouthful for me, and I have no idea why. Save me, man. Save me.
How you guys doing today?
We are having a great Thursday here, man, Aaron. Got a question for you before we get going, though? Friday. It's been that kind of week for me, bros. I've done it again. I have lost the day of the week. Friday. Happy Friday.
Scared me for a second.
I did too, man. I was like, oh, man, I got to come back tomorrow. No, we're on the phone with Aaron. Therefore, it is Friday. All right, Aaron. Our question of the day to the listeners and all of the people of Northwest Florida. What is your sports tattoo, or what kind of sports tattoo would you get?
Well, I don't have one. So, man, I don't know. Here's the thing. The sports I like, I really enjoy baseball. I've been following swimming the last 15 or so years. Short track speed skating. Love it.
Oh, I love short track.
Man, I don't know if I could commit to somebody enough to want to put that on. I think of too many stories of, these athletes that they get caught doing horrible things, or, teams that kind of look the other way for some of that stuff. Like, I don't know if I want to permanently be associated with some of that. I like watching them play, but, man, I don't want to know that I condone that or, give that appearance forever. So I don't know, man. I think a hat or a T-shirt is more my level of commitment.
All right, good take. I like it. All right, Aaron. So couldn't be with us last week because you were at the Fan Expo in Boston. How was it?
Yes, it was really nice. First of all, it was just great to get away from this heat for a little bit. I landed in Boston, and that night I think it was like 67 degrees or something like that.
So beautiful.
It was insane. Yeah, the highs were like 78 or something like that. It was worth it for that. And then, it's Boston, great food, just the city, the architecture and all that. But the show itself was really cool. It was a very small Fan Expo show compared to, if any of you in this area have ever been down to Orlando for MegaCon, that's about 3 times the size of the Boston show. So it was a little easier to get around and to see everything. And it really didn't take the full 3 days. I went up, got some stuff signed, and did a little bit of shopping, and was able to duck out of there without spending a full day. Man, those convention shows, those floors and all that, they wear on you. So, it was really nice.
Yeah, I could see some of those, like the National Card Show. Man, I've seen pictures from it, and that thing just looks busy.
Yeah, and we did the Fan Expo show there year before last, which was, I think, the weekend after the National had been in the same building. So, yeah, I can tell you just those slab concrete floors, just standing in line for stuff, and that's all that fluorescent lighting and all that. Man, it drains you after a little bit. And man, those people have got to be in there all day waiting in line for something. I don't know how they do it. I've gotten to a point with those shows, man. If I don't go like VIP, I just don't go.
I can totally see the reasoning on that for you there. Did you find anything cool at the show to bring back to the shop?
Actually what I brought back more of was some decorative stuff for the shop. We found a dealer that had some really cool lenticular pieces, and we brought a bunch of them back to decorate the shop with. And I did some shopping for some future shows I'm going to with some future signers in mind, instead of waiting to get to the show and try to come up with something for them to tag. So that's more of what it was. Surprisingly, there were some people there with sports cards, but it was mostly just retail stuff that they may have picked up at Walmart or something and brought to resell. Lots of Pokemon and gaming cards there. A lot of autographed memorabilia as well. So given the size of the show, it was actually pretty good shopping opportunities for that.
Random thought.
We were there for the signers, though.
Random thought just popped into my head. I love collecting autographed sports cards. People love Pokemon and Magic and all those things. Do they have like autographed cards for Pokemon, say from like the artist or something like that?
To my knowledge, that's not something they have put in packs. However, at those shows, I do see quite a few people going for those, the voice actors and things like that. So I'm sure there's, a few of them that do get their cards signed, which that would be a pretty cool collection, I think, if you had, a bunch of the Pokemon signed by the person who did the voice for the animated show. I see a lot of them doing the Funko Pops, obviously. But, yeah, I think an autographed Pokemon card collection would look really good to display.
Yeah, it's something I don't have any personally, but from experience of just being around cards, people go wild on the Pokemon. I don't understand personally, but I do know people love it.
Yeah, it's having a big resurgence right now. It sounds like I'm knocking Pokemon to say it kind of comes and goes and all that. It has cycles. The sports cards do as well. In the late 80s, sports cards boomed. In the late 90s, they kind of fell apart with the strike and the steroids, and they've come back since about 2018 or 19. Pokemon's come back especially this past year, really, really big. The last 4 or 5 years, it was building healthily, and then it just exploded, around last Christmas.
Go ahead, Aaron. Sorry.
It's right now. Pokemon is dominating grading. So anybody out there, if you're sending out sports cards to be graded, you wonder why it's taking so long. I just saw something yesterday from PSA where they were saying the majority of what they're grading right now is Pokemon. It's not sports cards.
So I guess they're graded on the exact same standards as a sports card?
Yes. Now, there are some things you would have to know about, the individual sets. The same with sports cards. If you're having a grader that's looking at, a particular set that knows there's an idiosyncrasy about this set, that this certain border always is supposed to look a little off-centered or something like that. The colors in this set were printed a little differently. There are some things like that I guess you need to know about Pokemon as opposed to sports cards. But in general, sure, you're looking for the same kind of wear, the same kind of print issues, the same centering. So it's not that much different to grade one to grade the other.
You're tuned in to the Sports Blitz. We have Aaron Bearden, owner of Instant Replay Sports Cards, with us right now. All right, Aaron. I was in 2 weeks ago, came in and talked to you, said hi, and I saw the expansion process going on. Have you fully moved in, or where are we at that process right now?
Yes, we have. It is fully open to the public right now. Of course, it's still ongoing. My feeling about this place is kind of it'll never be finished. We're always trying to improve something. We always look at it as, we've done this for 36 years now. We still haven't found the perfect way to, catalog what we have inventory-wise, or even in the cases. Do you put them by team? Do you put it by player alphabetically? Do you put it by year? But, I haven't found there's any one correct way to do it. So, we're always trying to improve things, make it a better experience for the customers, make it easier on ourselves. So that part will probably never stop. But, yes, it is open to the public. We are more than double the size we were previously. So plenty more stuff on display, and it will keep going.
So NFL cards starting to roll out. NFL season starting to get into full swing. So a couple of NFL football questions coming your way. I got to see some of the cards that Panini has announced for their chase with Patrick Mahomes. Going to be 25 cards across all of the Panini products, with each of them being limited to 20 or fewer on each of those cards, and all of them being signed on card. That seems like a really big chase to me. And I know how popular Patrick Mahomes is, and I know how popular quarterbacks are. What kind of what kind of people, what kind of craze do you think will be involved with the Mahomes chase?
I don't know that it's going to really move the needle all that much. I mean, people already wanted Mahomes autographs. They were already very scarce. So it's nice in theory, but you think about how many boxes somebody's going to have to open to pull, one of each of those cards. I don't think most collectors are in that net that they're fishing for with that. You're going to see that online, some, guy who developed an app and sold it to Google for $300 million. He's going to be running around at the Nationals buying those up. Your average collector, if they find one, that's going to be awesome. That'll be a great card. They can get a lot for it, or it'll be the centerpiece of their Mahomes collection. But I don't think it's going to make people run out and buy Panini football boxes. As expensive as that stuff is now, I mean, come on. 6 years ago, Optic was like $100, $120 a box. Now it comes out and it's like, $700 or $800 or something like that a box when it releases, or more. I don't know if people are going to change their spending habits that much to chase that card or those cards. But it's going to be cool if somebody finds one, sure.
Oh, yeah. And trust me, if I find it, I'll come in and show it to you. That's how excited I will be. So we're in the last year for Panini and the NFL license, or more than likely in the last year for it. Anything out there that that this is going to be the last run of it? Is there any certain format that they do, any certain kind of cards that you really like that you're going to grab because, last chance to do so?
No, I don't think they're going to quit printing the cards at all. I don't think that's going to change. Panini sells a lot of football product. They sell a lot of baseball product, even though they don't have the MLB license. Panini baseball is still popular with a lot of people. So I don't think it's going to be the final year you're going to be able to get, Donruss football or Optic or Prism or any of that. As far as, whether or not it's got the logos on it, most collectors seriously don't care. The people we have come in who are like, I won't buy it without logos, they're mostly people who started collecting in the last year or two, and somebody online has told them not to want those cards for whatever reason. They really can't explain why. Because plenty of cards throughout the history of card collecting did not have the team logo on it, or they weren't authorized to have those logos on them, and yet they're still staples of the industry. They're some of the most sought-after cards ever. So, for most collectors, I don't think that matters. But is it going to change maybe some of the lesser products that Panini makes? Possibly. It's possible they cut back on a little bit, but I think things like Donruss and Prism and all that, they're here to stay.
Do you think they'll do kind of like what Leaf does? I always find, because Leaf is, usually not a licensed product, but I always find Leaf has some really good, juicy autos inside of most of their products. Do you think Panini might lean a little bit that way?
Right, yeah, they'll cut right to going to the athletes and not worrying. And that's what I always get with people. Leaf's not unlicensed. The unlicensed cards are illegal. That's the stuff you see people print up on eBay on their home printer and sell. Leaf cards are licensed with all those athletes. That's something online. People started this, this smear campaign, I guess, against Panini a few years ago. I don't know. Maybe it was Topps people doing it. I don't know. It's come back to bite them now. If it was, because now people throw that against Topps football and basketball, and they say, it's unlicensed. It's not unlicensed. And again, it's got the athlete on there. Do you care? Joe Namath's rookie cards, one of the most expensive football cards ever produced, it doesn't have a license for the team logo. Joe Montana's rookie card doesn't show the team logo on it. Plenty of old Topps cards throughout the years, Topps just didn't want to pay to get the license, so they just made the card without it. So, it's unfortunate. It's one of those myths, those pieces of misinformation in this hobby that the industry doesn't do a very good job of fighting. And it hurts itself.
You think nobody wants to fight it because each side is eventually going to lose the rights to have, the logos, so they just don't want to bring it up?
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. The bigger issue is, and I think I've talked about this before, is Leaf sat down with their lawyers a couple of years ago and had them do a little fact-finding thing on what could the leagues do about it if they just put the logos on the card and didn't pay. And their lawyers came back and said there are legal precedents for you to do that and get away with it if you want to. They said the thing is the league can take it to court. You can spend years fighting it. They said, but ultimately they don't really have a leg to stand on. This has happened back in the 90s with some card companies. Pacific was one. They made cards without even trying to get a license with the leagues. They just put the cards out there. And the league started to sue them, and they went to their lawyers, and their lawyers said, look, you can sue them, but if you lose, everyone out there, Donruss, Topps, Upper Deck, et cetera, they're going to realize they don't have to pay for a license either. And next year you have zero revenue from cards, or you can just hope nobody notices this, and you lose a little bit of money to Pacific, and you enjoy what you got from all the other companies. And that's where MLB went with it.
I am going to do some research on this weekend. This is grabbing my attention. I am loving it, Aaron. Thank you for bringing this to my knowledge, man. Love it. All right. I saw something kind of cool. Nothing really then. I just thought it was cool. But a Roberto Clemente 1955 Topps got sold at auction as a PSA 9 for $1.15 million. It is the highest anybody has ever paid for a not graded 10 card. That's all I got. I mean, the
Clemente?
Of the Clemente, yeah.
Yeah. I know there is at least 110 out there. And I don't know about now. I know at one time who had it. That's great. I mean, vintage cards are still strong. New cards are a little bit soft right now as compared to what they were selling for 3 to 4 years ago. But vintage is always there. Look, if you're going to get into this and you want to invest long term, like a stock market guy, you're not worried about if it makes money tomorrow or next week. You're riding it out long term. Vintage baseball, you can't go wrong with that.
Is it going to do?
It's always going to.
Sorry,
it's going to hold, and it's going to steadily increase a little bit here, a little bit there. It's not going to double overnight. It's not going to crash overnight either.
So with the vintage cards, would it be better to go ahead and, the ones you have, send them off for grading, or should you look to collect more that have been graded, or with vintage, does it really matter?
If I'm buying vintage for an investment like that, especially, somebody just getting into it for the investment side who doesn't know cards, I would say yes, buy graded. Buy the best version of the card you can afford to buy, whether that's a 2 or an 8, whatever fits your budget. Buy that, put it back, and just wait. Like I say, eventually, it's going to be worth quite a bit more than what you paid for it. It may be a year from now, maybe 5 or 10 years from now. But vintage baseball has been the biggest proven thing. Look, you don't have to worry. Roberto Clemente is not tearing an ACL. He's not going to get a DUI. None of that stuff that's going to happen that with some of these new draft picks in football. They may turn out to be great, but all of those things could happen to them. Vintage, those guys, they've come and gone. They've done their thing. They're icons. It's
all right.
Pay their dues. It's not going to happen.
Our best question of the week. Are you ready for it? What's going on at Instant Replay this weekend?
Well, tonight we've got that kids club at 6 p.m. Bring those kids out. We know they're back in school, so you're not on vacation and all that. You need something for them to do. Bring them in, 6 p.m. The kids get in on some $10 breaks. They get to trade with other kids. They're going to go home with a ton of cards. We always have all kind of freebies and stuff to give to the kids. Tomorrow we got breaks in the store at noon, breaking all kind of hobby boxes like the new Finest Baseball and Finest Basketball. And tomorrow night, we are at XIW Wrestling at North Bay Haven. Come out for a night of pro wrestling, and we will be there with a lot of items that we just don't have here in the shop for you to purchase. A lot of signed memorabilia and stuff like that. So a lot of cool ways to come hang out and have fun with us this weekend.
All right, Aaron Bearden, anything else to let the people know about that you got going on?
Oh, yeah. Next week we got Rip Night. I think we got a Pokemon event coming up this weekend. It is a busy time. The summer, they're getting near the end of summer. They're squeezing all these events in. So come out, check the website. Come see us in person. Find out all the big things we got happening right here.
All right, Aaron Bearden, thank you so much for coming in and hanging out with us on this Friday. It is Friday. All right. Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you. You guys have a great one.
Aaron Bearden, owner of Instant Replay Sports Cards, located right here in Panama City on 23rd Street. Kids Club tonight at 6 o'clock. Break tomorrow at noon, and they will be at XIW Wrestling doing some cool stuff there as well. We just got a text in from one of our fans with a 207 area code. They have a Patriots tattoo. All right.
It's
We got
huge, epic sleeve.
Like a full arm going on?
It's like a leg thing. It's
a leg? Oh, even
like entire shin areas.
Nice.
I don't know.
Dedicated. That's what we call dedication, ladies and gentlemen. When we get back, we got our $2 bets and this day in history. You're tuned into the Sports Blitz. You can call the show, text the show, 850-215-6290. ESPN Northwest Florida is where your radio dial is located.
Wanted to reach out and smack someone?
Sit your ass down and shut up!
Call or text the Afternoon Underdogs on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida with your rants, hot takes, picks, and takedowns.
This is unacceptable at the University of Alabama!
This should go 7 games. You've got to have a bad game at some point.
The Red 70s studio line, 850-215-6290. ESPN Northwest Florida. Get in the game.
Are you hungry for authentic Mexican cuisine? Then come to El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, where we serve up the freshest, most flavorful dishes on the beach. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, a great location, comfortable atmosphere, and happy hour from 3 to 7. Buy one, get one free, regular margaritas and 12-ounce house drafts. And you're going to love their lunch specials Monday through Friday from 11 to 3. Plus live music Wednesdays and Saturdays starting at 5:30. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, Thomas Drive across from the Navy base. And 10908 Front Beach Road.
This is Patrick with Turf Pro Pest Control. Do you want a great-looking lawn? Call Turf Pro. We will come out to your property and make a customized plan for your lawn. Then we will do the most important part, execute that plan. Turf Pro is a locally owned and operated company. We take pride in making your lawn beautiful. Call Turf Pro. You will love your lawn. The blue and yellow trucks make your lawn green. Find us on Facebook at Turf Pro PC.
Summer's not over yet at 7 Summers Patio, Panama City Beach's newest destination for outdoor living. Discover stylish, durable outdoor furniture at unbeatable prices. From loungers to dining sets, we've got everything to make your patio the place to be. It's 7 Summers Patio, 17833 Panama City Beach Parkway, Suite 104. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 to 5. Hurry in and cash in on our end of summer savings. Only at 7 Summers Patio. Turn your backyard into paradise.
This is the Sports Blitz, where we don't have guests. We have punching bags. The Sports Blitz on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Sports Blitz on the air, ESPN Northwest Florida. Call the show, text the show, 850-215-6290. We are streaming on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Download the app, take us with you everywhere you go, and visit the website, ESPNPC.com. And ESPN Northwest Florida is your home for the Braves on the Gulf Coast. Braves taking on the Guardians tonight, 6 o'clock pregame, 6:10 first pitch. Atlanta Braves baseball on ESPN Northwest Florida is sponsored locally by Bestway Portable Buildings, Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, Mid-South Lumber, and Brock Pest Control. Let's roll on into our $2 bets. Well, I was 1 for 3 last night. Not the best. Let's review. I missed on the Phillies and Nationals. I was right with Luzardo over 6.5 strikeouts and Harper to get over that half a hit. However, I was wrong on the Phillies to win, and we did not get to the 8.5 for the over on runs. I missed on the Tigers Twins. Right that the Tigers would win, but I was wrong on the fact that it did not go over 7.5, but I was finally correct with the Rockies taking a loss. I got the Diamondbacks Rockies. I got the Diamondbacks for the win. So that $2 bet fetched me a grand total of $3.14. Can I have a round of applause, BC? I want a round of applause for that one. I deserve that. Thank you.
We'll clap.
Thank you. For this evening, this is actually an afternoon game. Pirates-Cubs. I will take the Cubs to win. Give me the over the 9.5 runs. Colin Ray for over the 4.5 strikeouts. And I will take Nico Horner at the over half a hit. That's a $2 bet that could net me $16. For the next game, I will take the O's and Astros to, I will take the O's and Astros. I take the Astros to win. I will then parlay that one into the Diamondbacks and Rockies, and I will take the Diamondbacks to get the win. So that is a $2 bet. That could be worth $4.32. And to be a total degenerate, how about some preseason football? Titans-Falcons, I got the over at 37.5. So if that one hits, that is a $2 bet. That will get me $3.74. You're tuned into the Sports Blitz. You can call the show, text the show, 850-215-6290. And if you got any sports tattoos, or if you want any, call us in these last couple minutes. Let us know what you have. Rolling on into this day in history. It is Friday. Yes, this time I said Friday, August 15th, 2025. This day in 1999, Tiger Woods makes a par on the 17th hole to hold on to the PGA Championship by one stroke over 19-year-old Sergio Garcia. Woods, 23 at the time, becomes the youngest player to win two majors since Steve Ballesteros in 1980. 2004 in Athens, Greece, the U.S. men's basketball team loses 92-73 to Puerto Rico. This is the third Olympic defeat for the Americans and the first since adding professional basketball players. American teams had been 24-0 since the professionals joined the Olympic era with the 1992 Dream Team. The U.S. Olympic record is now 109-2.
That
That's
just
a
goes
pretty
to show
good record.
You how good chemistry can take you. If you have a good team that's been playing together, that's gelled, you can beat a team with better players. You are more than the sum of your parts.
Well, I would also say how hungover was the U.S. when they showed up to that game? like literally how much beer was consumed the night before that one? Because if you go back and you look at like the 1992 team, that Dream Team, oh man, those dudes were like blitzed every single night and they were coming in and destroying everybody. Okay. This day, 2007, former NBA referee Tim Donaghy pleads guilty to felony charges for taking cash payoffs from gamblers and bettors on games he was officiating in a scandal that rocked the league. I do remember that one. That was a bad one on the NBA. This day, 2012, Felix Hernandez pitches for the Seattle Mariners, and he gets the perfect game, the 23rd in Major League Baseball history, and the first ever perfect game for the Seattle Mariners. The Mariners defeated the Rays 1-0, because all you got to have is one run to beat the other guy. All right, game of the night. For me, the game of the night, it's going to be the Titans and Falcons. This game will be at 6 o'clock. Titans favored by 3 with an over-under of 37.5. You got a game of the night, BC, that you're looking forward to? Or just the weekend in general?
I'm going to go with this game because, huge Falcons fan. I'm sorry your Titans are going to lose.
I would not be upset, but thank you for your condolences. Yeah. I appreciate it. Yesterday's day of the game, I had the Blue Jays and the Cubs. The Blue Jays got the win over the Cubs 2-1 in an absolutely dominating pitching match by both teams. So, for me and my tattoos, let's talk my tattoos now. I've been asking everybody for theirs. So, my sports tattoos. I do have sports tattoos, everyone. I have a full sleeve down my left arm. And it is my homage to hockey goalies. So if we start at the bottom, you'll see that I got my red down here. That is supposed to symbolize the frame, the crossbar, the netting. And then behind it, we got the netting. If you go up the back of the forearm, you get to see the old school goalie mask. And this was actually the first guy to paint a goalie mask. This is Jerry Cheevers. And Jerry Cheevers, if for those of you not familiar, you remember the mask. He was the guy that put the stitches on the helmet. He would paint one of those stitches every time he got hit in the face. He would add a new stitch to the mask because, well, that's where he would have gotten the stitch in the face in real life. So in turn, he put it on the mask. That was pretty cool. The front of my forearm, I have a goalie in front of a net catching a puck. And the nice thing about this goalie here is it's me. Yes, I have a tattoo of me on me. That tells you the kind of person that you're getting to talk to right now. I love me so much. If we go up the sleeve a little bit, we got a goalie stick. We got a Nashville Predators puck. Looks like it's sticking into my tricep right there. We roll around to the side. I have Godzilla playing hockey because why? I don't know, but I thought it looked great at the time, and it's Godzilla playing hockey.
Like some Godzilla movies?
I love Godzilla movies. Okay. I am a Godzilla fan. I got Eric Cartman playing goalie on the back from that one episode of South Park in which Cartman plays goalie. And then all the way up, I have my cartoon character, which I have copyrighted and trademarked, and you can go find his cartoons on YouTube. And around it, it has the Eric Cartman quote of, "I just have a sweet hockey body." And to cap off the top of the tattoo is a goalie helmet. Well, this wasn't the very first painted goalie helmet I ever had. This was a goalie helmet that I painted for myself. So all the other ones I've had were always painted by somebody else, but this one was actually me putting my work and my art into it. I absolutely love it. On the side, you got the Cheshire Cat smile. On the top, you have my cartoon character playing as a goalie. Just absolutely love that helmet tattoo. I also have a Cubs tattoo on my left side of my chest. So just like, when you wear a Cubs jersey and you see the knitting, you see the patch, it's actually supposed to look like the patch that is sitting right there on my body. Looks like the patch has been sewn onto me. And on my right wrist, I have the Tampa Bay Ray, and around it is the locations in which I met my lovely and beautiful wife. Well, enjoy your weekend, everybody. It is time to say goodbye.
What about that half-naked mermaid you have?
The half-naked mermaid right there? That's the wife. And she has a very similar tattoo on her leg of a mermaid.
She is half naked.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah. She loves it. She loves it. For Bone Crusher, this is James Fife. Enjoy your weekend, everybody. Keep your stick on the ice.
Keep the game going with ESPN Northwest Florida. Just because you get out of the car doesn't mean the Sports Talk and Live play-by-play have to end.